guys, it's Mikethebear here again. So, today's topic is the friend zone. So, these two. There's a lot of biological reasons for the friend zone. What we perceive as a friend zone. So, I'm just going to jump straight into it. So when you have a species with two separate sexes that perform separate roles when it comes to creating offspring, inevitably one of those two sexes has to devote more resources to it. And this applies to humans especially because one of our sexes is only capable of giving off a certain number and a limited number of offspring, whereas the other is potentially able to have an unlimited number. And that results in one of our sexes, namely the females, having a tendency to be more choosy, and the males having a tendency to be more competitive. Now, in most cases, friendzone in straight heterosexual relationships, friendzoning will happen to the male, and that's because the men typically are not very choosy when it comes to who they'd have sex with. So, I mean, when you really think about it, like, if it's got a vagina, would a dude do it? Yeah, probably. But the same can't be said for women, because biologically and whether they realise it or not, so subconsciously, they are extremely choosy when it comes to picking a partner. And on a biological level, it makes a lot of sense. So, does this mean last guy's finished nice? Does this mean nice guys finish last? Not at all. So typically when you meet someone and you've got the hots for them, subconsciously you will develop an idealized version of this person that isn't really accurate to their true self. You think of this person as a perfect partner, but in many cases, a neutral and outside observer could probably tell you that the two of you don't actually have that much in common. And the friend zone is not some sort of penalty bin where you get sent for not being buff enough or being too available. I mean, buffness sort of plays into homogeny. I can't pronounce it. People have certain things that they like in a partner, and in many cases, for women, it's large muscles, and for men, it's quite often large boobs and a big ass. Now, is that necessarily a bad thing? No. But if you don't have those things, and the person that you desire as a partner kind of likes that, it does limit your chances. It doesn't make things impossible. But you can't get upset with them for saying, oh, well, I'm sorry, you're just not physically attractive to me. It's perfectly natural. But the one thing that you can change is being too available. Now, why does that matter? It's all part of the scarcity complex. So biologically speaking, humans are afraid of missing out, to put it simply. This is especially true in marketing. When you see signs that say stuff like, oh, limited time on this sale, limited stock available, price will only last for a few more days. We are naturally inclined to think, oh, I have to go get that because I don't want to miss out. And the same thing applies to relationships. If you've got a man out there and a woman's kind of interested in him, but he's not available very often, and he says, look, you can come out right now, but there's no real other opportunity. Or if they say, hey, do you want to hang out? And typically your answer is no. That kind of subconsciously makes them want to hang out with you a little bit more. And it's all part of the scarcity complex, because they're afraid of missing out. Of course, this doesn't apply to everyone if they're not really afraid of missing out on you in particular. But if you've got something that they desire, like they enjoy your friendship, something like that is a possible way to get out of what we perceive as a friend zone. And this is all scientifically speaking. And naturally, that is the trend, not the rule. So there are always exceptions, and it's not always going to work. And one of our largest difficulties is the fact that we have a Paleolithic mind and a Paleolithic subconscious trying to make sense of a modern world. So you might ask, well, why do women seem to go out with people that I perceive to be jerks? it's not because they're jerks that you think, oh, that's why they go out with them, they just like being treated that way. Not at all, not at all. It's because people that are typically what you would classify as a jerk, you're going to fit through there? Yeah. Have traits that they desire, such as lack of availability and a very good sense of self-worth. Those are both very attractive traits, and the reason they're important is because when you really think about it, does that jerk need that woman? Does he really care about her? No. But why is that attractive? Because women and men need this too. It's not just women, of course not. They need a partner that can live without them. So back in the day, if the mother were to die, and you had a male that was like, oh, I can't live without you, and he was very dependent, what chance does he have for raising the offspring? And subconsciously you think, no, not much at all, really, if he's so dependent on his spouse or on his partner. Men and women want someone that can live without them for those very reasons. And certain traits like that tend to show up in people that are very, how you would say, arrogant, quite self-centered. And it's really just nothing more than coincidence. So guys, with the advent of the internet and social networks where you can talk to hundreds of people, we've become much more social, but kind of lonely in the process. And being her friend, or his friend, might be what they really need. Anyway guys, have a fantastic day. This is Mikethebear signing off. I'll see you all in the next episode.